that might be spent more wisely in other places.
Right. And they will tell you that that's a capital budget, which is different from the operating budget. And I understand that. But when you're fiscally irresponsible in one area, are you going to tell me you're responsible in another?
You know, Ms. Mary, let me raise this question because I think when we talk about the underutilization of facilities, and especially in minority communities, and we talk about the reason that the children are not there is that the children are being bused somewhere else. Now, Brown versus the Board of Education talks in terms of facilities and et cetera, et cetera. But now, would it be the, you know, and certainly I wouldn't want to be putting anything in your mouth in reference to your association and et cetera, but it does seem to me that if you could get the resources that are necessary for these inner city schools, that is to have these schools equal to any school in the suburbs. And that is what the federal, that's what the state and local governments would have to do if they could provide those resources. Do you think that perhaps you could keep some of those young people, some of those children within that community and in those schools rather than sending them outside of the schools to be bused or what?
Well,
I mean,
the children didn't make the choice. The choice was a district choice based on the way the lines were drawn. So the children didn't make the choice.
Well, I know,
but I guess my thing is if you're taking children from this community to another community, you need to bring some children to this community as well.
And you think that perhaps if you increase the resources in those schools that they're planning to cut and build those schools up, then they could also bring children from other schools.
Well, you look at Martin Luther King, Pearl High School. They made it a magnet. People, it's a melting pot there. People will come if it's something they want. Jones Padilla, which is one of the schools slated to close. I mean, just a melting pot of people. Last Thursday night, not last night, a week ago, I saw they're happy about the educational opportunities being provided for their children. And that's what we want. I mean, the world is a melting pot, so we want our schools to be reflective of society in that manner.
And you don't think that the current situation in terms of the administration of the schools is looking toward creating that kind of situation for the...
Well, all I know is that the schools that they've talked about closing are 60% minority. And now, you know, if and there was a theory out there last night that they, because of AYP and No Child Left Behind and those issues, if you move these students, and if they're underachieving students, then they get lost in the shuffle, and it makes it appear that your test scores have really soared. So I thought that was an interesting So people, like I said, people are doing their homework, a lot of good information. I just hope that the school board really is receptive to the community's wants and desires.
And you think that as the president of the association, that it's about time for Nashville to start talking about education again.
And it's time for Nashville to start working with its teachers. Teachers know what children need. They're closest to children. They are the ones. Don't ostracize us or shut us out. You need to let us in because we want what's best for children, and what's best for children will always be what's best for teachers.
And sort of you think that there's a little sentiment that they're trying to keep y'all from being involved in what's going on?
Well, I think they, on the surface, they want to say that we're involved, but they don't really. Their ears sometimes are closed to what we have to say, and they really need to open.
So they're just they might be just giving lip service to your involvement, but they really don't want to hear what you have to say.
Well, and I told them last night, I said, I'm going to talk tonight. A week ago, I felt like I was at Thanksgiving dinner and I wasn't allowed to eat. So I'm, you know, if I'm coming to the table, then I'm going to, you know, represent my constituents.
Okay, and certainly as over these last 20 seconds here, Dr. Merritt, you've got certainly a constituency to represent, because it's a real problem in terms of trying to provide the resources necessary. And of course, we'll be back with our audience again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.